Welcome back. A huge part of the whiskey industry are NDPs, non-distilling producers. What is an NDP? Something that doesn't have a still and doesn't make their own whiskey on site. Now, lots of people are NDPs and do contract distill or pay others to distill for them, but what sets each of these NDPs apart if what we're doing is buying barrels from the same people? Let's get into that. Barrel King sources mainly MGP, but they use legacy barrels for finishing. Foregate does a really good job with this because they have a really great relationship with Kelvin. Kelvin makes them really cool barrels. They source legacy Kentucky distillate, and then they finish those or double barrel them or whatever you want to call it into those barrels to make it unique and different. Rare Character does an incredible job with this too, finding really interesting, unique barrels, unique profiles, unique whiskey from basically everywhere. So, let's talk about how we do it. We, in theory, all have access to the same barrels through the same brokers. So, how as an NDP do you set yourself apart, make yourself very different from everybody else? Labeling, obviously one. Your pricing structure, obviously two. Now, those parts are far more boring and far less interesting than the actual whiskey in the bottle. So, I'm going to show you some ways that we work to be very different than other NDPs. One of the biggest ways that we do this is right here from this chair in this room, which is my office. Something that's so important and so interesting is whiskey that people haven't had yet. Experiences that whiskey enthusiasts have never experienced before. In order to have these experiences, they probably need to have been put into a barrel before a lot of these NDPs, including us, started NDPing. So one of the ways that we do this is through relationships. It's like bottle hunting, but through barrels. And it's done through emails rather than through stores. One of the ways that I generally do it is I have a list of brokers that I talk to when we want barrels. What I'll do is I'll reach out to those brokers with generally a lot, how many barrels we want to buy, and what we're looking for. Something unique, something interesting, something they're willing to send samples of, because if we haven't tasted it yet, we probably don't want to buy it. So one of the great relationships we have, obviously, is Sagamore. We contract distill our mash bills at Sagamore. We actually contract distilled 133 barrels this year with them. This is actually how I found our 52% rye mash bills. I reached out to our guy, Max, at Sagamore. He's incredible to deal with. I asked Max for age stock. I asked him for interesting mash bills. I asked them for stuff that they have sitting around that they might want to wholesale. This is a way for us to find unique and interesting barrels that they might not release in the same way that we might release them. One of the things that happened was I reached out to Max and asked for these mash bills. We got a sample of the 52% rye at cask strength, around 5 years old, and we fell in love with it. What a lot of people do is rely and lean on MGP and Green River, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We do the same thing. The difference is, on top of those things, we're finding other things at the same time. And we'll continue to do that because I think that that's probably one of the most unique and interesting things an NDP can do. So, I just found some more new barrels through Max. And they're at EverNorth. So let's go over there and get into them. They're all research and development barrels, so it should be interesting. What's going on?
What up? Are you filming now?
Yeah, dude. There they are. The R&Ds. So, all of these barrels were barrels that Sagamore started playing with basically in 2015. Actually, they started playing with the whiskey in 2015. They started playing with this barreling idea in 2018. So, all of these are basically 9-year-old whiskey, and all of these have been put into different barrels. Some of these are blended mash bills together. Some of these are burr ryes in the barrel. Some of them are double oaked bourbons, basically. But yeah, some of them were entry proofed at 100. Some of them were entry proofed at like 114. We're gonna go through these and try these, but these are something that have never been on market, have never been bottled ever, because Sagamore's never bottled a bourbon ever. And that's actually why they wanted to get rid of them, is they don't have a use for these, and they can't label them under anything that they sell.
So this pallet has a 50-50 double-barreled bourbon in wave stave. It's got a double-barreled Boo Rye. It's
got a Boo Rye in X95.5 barrels and a bourbon blend in 95.5. So
pulled samples of these so that we can go through them, but the color on some of these is freaking awesome already, which is great. Hopefully, the plan with these, truthfully, some of these have to be put under an American whiskey label because they were blended in a barrel and then they were rebarreled and all of that in the used barrels, so they'll have to be American. We don't have a blend label at the moment that we can put these into. That will hopefully be next year. But for right now, I mean, truthfully, I wouldn't hate to single barrel one or two if they're pretty damn good. So we'll see. We'll get into it.
Hopefully. Yeah, this is going. I'm trying the 50-50-ish blend of bourbons, 95 rye barrel plus barrel char from dumps.
Oh, they all got
Ooh. That smells phenomenal. Man, I could honestly probably blind that and think it's Maker's Mark. That reminds me of Maker's Cast Strength.
Okay, now re-smell it.
That's good.
And
I
retaste
like that.
it and think, what'd you say?
green apples are just about to like go. Like they're just a little like mushy.
I get that.
Like
note.
soft?
Yeah.
This was my favorite.
This is your guys' favorite.
This was Dan's favorite without even knowing about it.
Dan's not even on camera. That smells like hickory. It's got like a very different wood spice about it.
So, this one,
Is this bourbon?
this is 2 bourbon mash bills,
Okay.
high rye, low rye, put together in 2018 in that barrel.
And
It's a wave stave. What did ISC said after how many years it turns into a normal barrel?
like a year and a half too.
Okay. It's got the root beer note. That's
Yeah, it does. Like through the ass though.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost it's super char heavy.
Oh.
Very spicy.
Oh. I get a ton of vanilla. Metric shit ton. I get sarsaparilla for sure.
It's worse.
It's not.
What
That barrel.
is the best we've got?
That was a mean barrel.
This one is a 40% high rye, 40% low rye bourbon, 20% 95.5 rye in double oak and a wave save double oak. So it's a bur rye and a
I think
barrel.
the rye really stands out. I get a little bit of that lemony freshness about it.
This one smells like ancient MGP to me.
We're shooting a video,
This
sir.
is the one. I think that's one of the best barrels we've ever owned, personally.
It's got a tang to it.
Tang?
Tang.
What are we
Big green apple barrel.
What? Yeah. This is tangy.
No.
That is
Oh,
tangy.
there's a lot of tang on that one.
There's tang.
No. Like you'd have like a barbecue sauce and say, oh, it's tangy. It reminds me of OKI.
Oh, that special reserve bottle?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
The one with
That-
all the different shit, like
yeah.
the fucking 87 things in
Yep.
it?
That's exactly what that reminds me of. It's like there's so much going on. It's very complex, very, very different, very wild.
So this is all bourbon in
a
bourbon.
rye barrel?
Bourbon.
Oh, bourbon
In a
barrel.
bourbon
There's a
barrel.
21 bourbon barrel.
So it's bourbon,
Oh.
bourbon, but it's a used bourbon barrel. I wish that we could blend
It's
this
a little bit
into
of like a root beer float.
Yeah, because it's vanilla and it's really, really thick and sugary.
Like if you just mix vanilla ice cream with root beer, like
Yeah, it smells
I like the
cotton
smell
candy.
of this.
It smells like cotton candy.
This has like a
I'm very intrigued.
spicy nut.
I fucking knew it was gonna be some wild shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you eat and drink in the last week? Oh, that one smells good. Man, I love wave save barrels. This is another wave save
Yeah,
barrel.
it's very charred.
40,
heavy.
40, 20. 40 bourbon, 20 rye, double oak 2018 into a wave stave though.
That is charred out the
Maybe.
ass.
Is it?
Yeah.
It smells awesome.
you give it a negative.
The only thing I don't like is it's drying.
Yeah, that's why I said like I'm drinking chalk.
It's too dry. We should put that in something else. Put that in the vanilla barrel. Yeah, I think let's mark that one. We'll use it for one of the barrel transfers. Some of these are gonna go into Spirit Walker 3 or 4 or 5,
Yes.
and then some of these are gonna be single barrels.
yeah,
But these are very unique.
my single
barrels.
barrel over there that people are gonna love so much.
This barrel,
Rasp.
this is Madagascar vanilla. This is the one that you
Oh, look at this.
and you voted on.
Yep.
You guys voted on taking one of the R&D barrels and putting it in a very expensive empty Madagascar vanilla barrel.
Not the most expensive barrel we bought though.
We're gonna take the one that we earmarked in there. We're gonna start making the next Spirit Walker, which is the barrel finished Omen that we have, with a raspberry brandy, a Madagascar, and a blackberry brandy barrel. And hopefully filling these up and giving them a lot of months to hang out and chill and interact, we'll create our next barrel finished product. We're gonna dump that in there, but.
Oh yeah, we are. Make more noise, please.
Got it?
Jesus.
Oh, I figured you were like gonna wrap it up at some point.
For my dog.
Sure, dude, sure.
So he doesn't get ran over by a Ford truck.
Definitely, definitely.
Puppy dog over there likes to bite tires.
One or two of those might go into the raspberry or blackberry brandy as well, truthfully.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. And then we got some other blending and bottling to do, but that is what we're gonna do right now. So
We're gonna put this in Night Stalker 3.
that's true too.
And that'll be the end.
Of Night Stalker 3. That's a different video.
Oh.
So I gotta figure that out. Cheers.